Super Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Sonic, Super Smash Bros. Still never played.
You've never played. All right, we need to talk about this. That has to be a topic, so we'll bring that up during it.
Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Josh. Pause for dramatic effect.
Dun, dun, dun.
Recognize me? No? Well, I'm Josh.
I got suspended from school because of Josh.
You're going to be there with me in every way imaginable, Josh.
Josh is truly in a trance, yes.
I went to high school with Josh, and I can tell you right now, he's a terrific kisser.
Hi, I'm Josh.
Josh, these are people's jobs we're talking about, Josh.
Josh walking in the door wasn't even close.
Josh, you are a muffin-snuggling pirate puncher.
Josh is a good guy. We can talk to him.
Please welcome Joshua.
All right, man. What do you got for me today?
All right, so kind of picking up on the theme that we kind of did last week. We talked about like video game movies, like, you know, there was a lot of things, and thinking like I'm a bigger horror fan than you are.
Yeah.
Like I like horror video games. I like that like adrenaline rush that you get from like getting jump scared and things like that. Like
Right.
I love that. So like
I
was
do not enjoy that.
I was thinking like, you know, like Silent Hill or like Outlast would be absolutely terrifying movies if they were done right.
Yeah.
And I think that they're not necessarily like an A-list type movie. They're more of like the independent, grittier style films.
Right.
But so kind of building on that. So I was thinking, why don't we take some video game franchises and make a tier list?
Okay.
There's a lot of series on here that, like, you know, just about everybody's played in some way or shape or another. And
Okay, so you're working off of a list.
yes, so
Okay.
I have a list of games.
Gotcha.
So it's not like trying to come up with these games or things
Yeah.
like that and like franchise. So usually more than a game that has more than one iteration or one version, like, you know, Street Fighter 1, 2, 3, whatever, Tekken.
4 billion, whatever.
Yeah,
took you now.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of them are the same like concept, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Essentially the same game. But there's little nuances, little characters
Yeah.
that kind of make it a little bit different. So,
And then you got Final Fantasy 63 and a half. And,
right,
you know,
which, yeah, I've really never played any Final Fantasy
I haven't either.
games.
I've seen bits and pieces of them, but that's about it.
So we have a tier list. So, and that's the thing, cool. If you guys at home want to look at all these tier lists and things like that, there's a place called Tier Maker. It literally gives you all the templates. It gives you the games or videos or whatever, and you can make tier lists.
And just
So
to be clear, that's tier, T-I-E-R,
Yes.
not T-E-A-R. Tier Maker, T-E-A-R, may be a totally different site that we
Right.
don't want you to go to. So,
so the tiers are masterpiece,
oh, okay,
very good,
yeah,
good, above average, mid, below average, not good, horrible, trash, or have never played.
I just love the fact that we're using the word mid, which is very Gen Z of us.
Yes, exactly. Well, I guess that's where you get me. You kind of bridge that gap where I'm a little younger than you are, but not much.
Yeah,
But
yep.
I'm still in that like
I'm the old man.
zillennial kind of age. So I was trying to think of, like, if you think of like a video game series, like I almost kind of want to establish like a few games first, and then we can kind of base
Sure.
things off of those. I was trying to think of like a mid-tier game series.
I can give you a mid tier for me.
Okay.
Sonic.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Like Sonic was good enough to keep me playing it for a while,
but
was not good enough to keep me dedicated to the point that I'm
Right.
like, I have to finish this game. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like it's the same game over. It's the same game over and over again.
Yep.
Okay, so we can put Sonic there. Trying to think of what would be a mid-tier for me. I mean, we're talking about like I said, Street Fighter, Red Dead, Halo, GTA, Mass Effect, The Sims, Mortal Kombat, Doom, like basically anything that you can think of. I'm just kind of like scrolling through here.
My limited experience, we could also throw The Sims somewhere in the mid part.
Yeah, I would think, yeah.
It's enough to keep me interested for just a little while, but not like to hold me to being like a lifetime player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I would say like, and I'm also trying to like throw nostalgia out the window.
Yeah.
Because that's hard for me, because there are some that I just never really played a ton of. Like I played a little bit and I'm like, this isn't for me.
Right. I get
But
that.
also like there are franchises that I love that aren't good. It's like,
I.e. Goat Simulator.
oh my gosh, no, that's
talked about previously.
that's masterpiece here. What are you talking about? Oh no, just like SimCity,
SimCity.
like SimCity 3000 or whatever. Like
Okay, I don't know that I ever even experienced those.
really, where
Yeah.
you like build your own city and then like you have to like keep the people happy and like create like sanitation and water and power and all that kind of stuff.
I've seen games like similar to that, but none of them that were like a series of games. So I don't know that. Like I definitely never played SimCity, but I've seen like Cityscape and things along those lines that were games that were similar that you could. But most of those were just ones that you could play online, like just go to the website and play it, and then you could save it and stuff. But that was it.
Okay,
So I trust your judgment on that one.
gotcha. Okay, what about a game that I know that you've probably played? Where would you put Mortal Kombat?
Ooh, Mortal Kombat. Now, I'll be honest with you. I am not a massive fan of the kind of like what
the
is a
2D
platform fighter kind
yeah.
of thing. Yeah. So it kind of loses some points automatically in that. But
That's fair.
Mortal Kombat, like very early on, I remember playing it, and I remember like once you could kind of get down pat some of the final moves and things along those lines, it definitely had its appeal.
Right.
At the same time, like Mortal Kombat was not one of those ones that like grabbed me, where I was like, you know how it is, like because you and I both have this, like there's games that we get latched onto, and it's like all you can think about, all you want to do. Mortal Kombat was never that for me, and so I'm gonna go a tier or two above mid.
So that would be, you have above average or good?
Let's go above average.
Above average? Okay.
Yeah.
So one above Sonic.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
it was a decent game. I got why so many people really liked it and stuff, but at the same time, like I said, not one of those ones that really
I would
held me.
agree. I think this is also a nostalgia thing for me too, because there was nothing like trying to go find like a Game Shark or somebody who had
Oh yeah,
a gaming magazine or a book and getting out a piece of paper and writing down
all
the
codes.
combos for those things. Like there's just something inherent about that where you didn't have the internet to look these things up. You had to rely on physical things, or you took the game, because some of these games would have like notes in the back of the instructions of the game.
Yep.
And you would write down all of that,
Right.
or like you would go out and like beg your parents to get you a Game Shark.
Yep.
which
I had a Game Shark. That was the way to
I
go.
never had one.
Yeah, Game Shark and Game Genie were the two things that were just like amazing. Because once you got those and you had your little booklet and stuff like that, you could just throw the codes in, and it was like infinite lives and infinite whatever you wanted. It was great.
Now, see, like we'll go to the comparable game, Street Fighter.
Yeah, Street Fighter. I'd actually put it in the good category.
Okay.
Despite how much I don't really like those kind of platformers and stuff.
So you would put it above Mortal Kombat.
I would, and
Okay.
mainly because I found Street Fighter easier to grasp than Mortal Kombat.
That's fair. Like,
as far as the move combos,
I kind of agree
combos
with that.
and all that stuff.
I kind of agree with that. Yeah, it was more. Did you ever play the cabinet versions of those games?
Street Fighter, yes. Mortal Kombat, no.
Okay. See, I played a lot of cabinet Mortal Kombat because that was like the first time I'd ever seen it was cabinet stuff.
Okay.
And
all arcade stuff and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I was about ready to say if you don't know what cabinet games are, like, you should look them up.
If you go to an arcade, that's what you're playing with, like the joystick and for those kinds of games, it was like 6 buttons.
Yeah, and,
off to the side of the joystick.
Like you could play standing right next to somebody. Did you ever give them like the elbow?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If you didn't leg your friend while you were playing, you didn't really care about that game enough.
Right. Okay. So like I said, I would agree with that. What about? Here we go. The Lego games.
Oh man, I got to give big props to Lego Batman, Lego Star Wars, a lot of the ones along those lines.
The Lego Star Wars, like the complete saga, is so good, especially
so
like
good.
So there's an inherent difference between the Lego Star Wars games than the complete sagas, because I don't know if you remember, like the early like Lego Star Wars games, like there was no dialogue,
right?
Like in the cutscenes and everything, it was just like them like, like
yeah,
like there was no talking,
yeah.
And it was like, this is kind of dumb, like because I think the first full Lego game that I played was actually Lego Lord of the Rings, and then I went and played the Star Wars because it came out earlier, because I think it was free on when they did games with gold, like
right? Yeah,
gold,
yep.
They had the Lego Star Wars on there, and I was like, "What is this? This is terrible."
Yeah.
But then I played the complete the Skywalker saga. I think that's the one that's on Game Pass right now, and like I loved it. Yeah. No. So where would you?
So what is the?
So you have masterpiece, very good, and then above average.
I would put the Lego ones in very good.
Okay. All right, so we haven't reached that masterpiece tier yet.
No. I haven't heard one yet that was a masterpiece tier. The Lego games, though, I mean, they were like as surprising as it was to me. They were engaging enough to keep me coming back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I started playing one, I was like, oh, I really, really want to get to the end of the storyline in this.
Yeah, we'll do a couple more, and then we'll kind of get into our personal, where we personally put some games. Because I know there's games that you've played that I haven't played, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Here's a classic one. I guess classic is not really a good way to put it in the terms of that, but Guitar Hero.
Ooh, Guitar Hero.
Because I mean, it's like, and I haven't seen Rock Band on here.
I was gonna say Rock Band's another great one too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Rock Band is on here, so we can do both of those at the same time because that's, since essentially they're the same game.
Yeah, I think that's easily a very good,
very good tier. Okay.
Yeah. Again, not masterpieces because there are aspects of Rock Band and Guitar Hero that were frustrating enough, and
so you would put it in very good or good or above average?
I put it very good.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you put it ahead or behind the Lego games?
Behind the Lego games,
Okay.
just because of the storyline and stuff, like
Gotcha,
Rock
okay.
Band and stuff, and didn't seem to have. There was no direct storyline. It's not like they're doing any kind of like theatrical stuff. You just had the little whatever the goofy looking cutscenes between when you click start the song and the time that you actually started the song. Because it's your person
Right,
walking
yeah.
up and doing all their like cheering on the crowd
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. So no, because of lack of story and everything, it couldn't make it into masterpiece. But man, that was when they came out.
It was. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just so something that nobody had ever really done before.
Right, it was so novel when
Yeah.
they came out that like you just couldn't. There was nothing like it, and it was one of those things, especially Rock Band, because we had the full set.
Right, of course.
So when my wife listens to this, she's gonna get really angry at me again because when we moved from North Carolina up to here, I gave away
Oh no.
our Rock Band set. And I still regret it to this day, but she will not let me live that down like ever.
So this is just that turning of that knife again.
So, but no, that was one of those ones that, like when we were in a townhouse when I was at Liberty in college, and so I had two roommates that lived with me in the townhouse, and then I was dating Brooke at the time. Andrew was dating his now wife at the time, and then our other roommate Ryan was dating my sister at the time. And so we had 6 of us, though, that were, always hanging out over there. And so we had the 4-piece band, and we would just rotate in, like wherever you wanted to be. We were just constantly doing it. So as far as, a game that kept you engaged because you wanted to unlock more so that you could play more songs and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And then it kept, everybody could play it, like Guitar Hero. Man, Guitar Hero 2.
See, I was a big fan of Guitar Hero 3.
Of 3? Okay.
Yeah.
I only played 3 a handful of times.
Because 3 was the one that was like Slash and all of that. Like I think.
But 2 had songs like 6, which is like a favorite of mine. Had a bunch of like different really good songs, and I loved Guitar Hero 2. That was one of my favorite games.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. We kind of talked about it. Let me find it. Goat Simulator.
I'll be honest. I would put Goat Simulator in the good category.
Okay,
personally.
that's fair.
So it's not.
It's
It's so much fun to play, but not one of those ones where again it doesn't capture your mind. It doesn't keep you like coming back for more. It's one of those ones. It's like if you got a friend and you got some time to kill, Goat Simulator's amazing.
Oh, for sure. Like if you had 4 people playing that game though,
yeah,
I think that would kick it up. See, I would put it almost above average.
Okay.
Because of the replayability, like it's not a game that
yeah,
like
it's very linear in that sense. Like it doesn't change it up enough.
And honestly enough, it was a little frustrating at
Yeah.
times because like it was the finding the tree huggers or the hippies.
Yep.
I like literally had to look up a guide to try to find it.
Yeah, you and I were struggling
Yeah.
doing those. There's been a couple of different things that were on there that were frustrating enough. I would agree with that. And and again the lack to a degree of storyline, because in Goat Simulator it's very just task oriented, like go do
Yeah.
this thing and this really cool thing happens and then you get an ability.
Right.
And that's great, but at the same time they don't all mesh together and make like one big story. It'd be interesting if there was like some kind of cutscenes with story involved in it and stuff, and you were actually developing something in the GOAT.
You know what's really funny? There is a game like that though. There is a game.
Are you talking about the Goose Game?
No. Well, Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah.
No, it's a newer game.
Okay.
A squirrel with a gun.
You told me about this.
It's basically Goat Simulator with a storyline. Like it still has the insane like mini quests and things like that. Like you have to clear different areas and things like that. But that game is literally Goat Simulator with a plot.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is where we had some technical difficulties. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
So yeah, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. I don't have enough experience with Tomb Raider to be honest to like really give it a good rating. I played some of the old school Tomb Raiders. So I was the boxy PS1
with the dinosaur level. Do you remember that one where you had to like fight the Velociraptors and then like the end was like the T-Rex and that was like the original Tomb Raider.
So I don't recall that. And here's the thing is if I remember correctly, I started into the OG like original Tomb Raider and there was like one part at the very beginning of that game that I couldn't get past. And I got so frustrated with it that I didn't rage quit, but I like just kind of gave up on it. Right. And that was when I don't remember. I want to say that was like a Blockbuster rental. I'm gonna age myself a little bit for everybody out there, but I think that was a Blockbuster like game rental for me. And so when I got frustrated with it, we just went ahead and took it back the next day, so we didn't have to pay for like a longer rental and stuff, and got a different game. So, so I played that one. I did play some later Tomb Raider stuff. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't. I don't know if I was gonna rate it, for me, the Tomb Raider series is mid.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, like a lot of things where with like I think that era of game and those platformers, like because essentially, I mean, it is a 3D game, but it is kind of a platformer. Like there's a lot of parkour and things like that you have to do.
Yep.
And like I'm not the greatest at like parkour, like so I'm kind of agreeing with you that it is that like mid tier. It's not that it's a bad game. I think the other iterations of them are a little bit better. But those first ones, like the PlayStation 1, 2 Tomb Raiders are kind of hard. Like especially the learning curve in those games is very, very steep.
Yeah. For
I think that's okay.
I did enjoy the movies though.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I ever watched the Tomb Raider movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie actually did a really good job of kind of bringing that character to life, and I don't know, I enjoyed him. I know a lot of people kind of hated on him back in the day, but
if you had to pick a video game series that you would say is, because we haven't really had anything below mid,
right?
What is something that like
what's a garbage one?
Yeah, what's a trash or a horrible or a trash tier?
Horrible or trash tier video game series.
And it's one of those things where it's like there are some games that I've just never been good at, and like I don't want to qualify that as like a trash, but like
same here. That's one of the things I've been trying to take into consideration with some of these is because like there's a lot of video game series that I wasn't good at, but I thought that were good quality games. You know what I'm saying? Like watching other people play them, or like my knowledge of the game makes me say it's better than what I thought it was because I was just hot garbage at it, you know what I'm saying? The Tomb Raider games, I felt like story-wise were great, but playability and stuff like that, I just didn't feel like was there, and you know, like you said, the platforming and all that kind of stuff. But
right now, I'm gonna say, and I think this is a trash game, with the caveat of it's a trash game on one particular platform, and that's Just Dance.
Yeah, well,
okay,
yeah.
So the Kinect version of Just Dance is better.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But the Wii version is trash.
Okay. Yeah,
because you could literally sit on the couch and do all the dance moves because you're just moving the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that, like, to me, that's a trash game just because of the platform that it was on.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I had some really funny moments when I first got into like being a youth pastor. We bought Just Dance for the Kinect on the Xbox. And my coworker at that point in time, shout out to John Bible, who was the worship leader at the church. He came up to the youth room and did Lady Gaga's, whatever the name of the song was. I can't remember right offhand, but it was hilarious.
Born This Way, probably.
No, it wasn't Born This Way. I'm gonna delete this from the recording, but Ah la ra no no that song, whatever it is. Bad Romance.
Bad
Romance, is that what it was?
Yep.
So yeah,
No, leave that in.
No, I'm taking that out. I don't want to hear people to hear me singing, man. They'll stop listening altogether. But no, like John came up when we were messing with like setting it all up and stuff, and did the dance to that song, and I was crying laughing because John's like at that point in time was like your build but bigger, and so just like him like the awkwardness of a guy that size, but he's like he was almost like a Chris Farley kind of character. He could move really well. It was funny to watch him do that. But yeah, I'm totally on board for throwing Just Dance in the trash category.
Here's one: Angry Birds.
Angry Birds was better, in my opinion, than most people gave it credit for.
Really?
Yeah, I liked Angry Birds.
See, mine was like, I don't know, maybe it's like the whole angles thing, but like it felt so finicky. Like you could have like the perfect shot and like it hit something randomly and like it didn't do what it was supposed to. So I just thought like the controls of that was a little bit off.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. That was the first smartphone I ever got. That was like the first big game that I ever downloaded for it was Angry Birds. And yeah, I enjoyed Angry Birds. That was a good toilet game.
Right. What is your masterpiece tier? If it's what you're thinking of, we might disagree on this one, but I don't know.
Really? All right. No surprise. I think Halo should be in the masterpiece, and I know that you're gonna say like Reach and some of those, but I'd have a hard time not taking at minimum Halo 1, 2, and 3.
Right, but this is as a franchise. I think it falls flat after 3.
Yeah.
And then it almost saved it in Infinite, but the campaign was way too short and it was way too broken up.
See,
because I think Reach is better than people give it credit for, and I think ODST is actually better than people give it credit for. But I can't excuse 4 and 5. I can't. Like Guardians was terrible.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I guess my feelings in that is that Halo 1, 2, and 3 were god tier video games.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I don't disagree with
like they were outside of the categories that we could put them in that sense. And then the others brought them down to the masterpiece level. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people, and in my opinion, like if we don't have Halo, you don't have any of the first person shooter games. Like Call of Duty was a thing during this time, but I think Halo pushed Call of Duty to where it is.
Right. GoldenEye gave us Solid Snake. Solid Snake gave us Halo, and Halo gave us so much else. Because
I would say GoldenEye gave us Metal Gear. Metal Gear gave us Solid Snake, and then that progression. But
Metal Gear is Solid Snake.
Is it
Metal Gear Solid?
Well, I thought Solid Snake was like a
Solid Snake was just his call sign for the guy. Okay. That was kind of my progression that I went along with. I was actually never a GoldenEye player, and everybody else, kind of like talked about it. And then I played Solid Snake, so I played the Metal Gear Solid games. Kind of fell in love with that. That was my first experience with something close to that first-person shooter kind of feel. And then Halo came out, and the first time that I experienced Halo, I was garbage at it. I was terrible at the first-person shooter thing, but I was like, this is one of the best experiences of video gaming that I've ever had. And that was where I made up my mind. I'm like, I'm getting an Xbox, and I'm going full bore into this.
I was the same way. Like, so, I graduated high school, and with my graduation money, I went out and bought the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Because of Halo 1 and 2.
I traded in my PS2 for the OG Xbox, and then I've been an Xbox person ever since.
Yeah. I think the last PlayStation I had was PlayStation 2, because a game series that is not on here, which is a travesty, is Twisted Metal.
Man, Twisted Metal, what a great
I don't see that on this list, and I'm kind of like this whole list might be trash because I don't see that game franchise.
It's all out the window. Just throw it away.
But for me, my S tier or my masterpiece tier, is BioShock. And I know that you haven't gotten into BioShock.
I've never played BioShock,
so it's that, and I'm kind of a lore junkie, so
right.
I want to know the stories behind it, and there's actually a book that like leads up to it. Okay. So it kind of gives you like an imagined backstory for Rapture. Basically, this guy had the idea of basically creating his own society, and it in the middle of the ocean in like the communist era, like the 50s, 60s, like where the Cold War was happening. It was after World War II and things like that. And he wanted to create his own society free of government, free of interference from other people, and just let people be people.
Okay.
And obviously that doesn't work because people are people.
People are people, yeah.
But like
people going people. That's what they're going to do.
It gets into that like steampunky kind of vibe where like there's these
I've seen some of this like gameplay and stuff from it, but I've just never like played it myself.
It's really cool because it always posits that like, you know, science will thrive without repression from the government, religious organizations, things like that. Yep. So they were able to create gene mutations that allow you to shoot fire from your hands or ice or like wind and like...
Okay, so they're actual abilities that you have, not like something that's enhanced by mechanics or anything.
Right, no. Yeah, you have like these things. And I think from the 3 games that we have, so there's BioShock 1, 2, and then Infinite, which Infinite is a precursor to the other BioShocks.
Okay.
I think from top to bottom, it's the best video game series I've ever played.
Wow, okay.
Like, and that's including Halo, that's including Twisted Metal. Like, I have yet to find a video game series top to bottom that is better than BioShock.
Wow, okay.
That's
high
like,
praise.
Yeah, that's my... And like I said, I love the same arguments. Like, I love Halo 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And I love that style of first-person shooter. I think that's my niche game. Like, third-person shooter, like, a game that I've never really played is Gears of War.
Oh, Gears of War is great.
So I've never played Gears of War.
So I'll say that Gears of War, as far as the storytelling and stuff like that, it's a little lackluster as far as what you're doing story wise. But man, the gameplay and some of the things like the mechanics and stuff that they throw into Gears of War, that's a really fun franchise to play.
Well, and I think when we played Outriders, it was, you said
Outriders,
it reminded
similar,
you a lot. And like I didn't really have that. I had the Destiny vein where you know you have your gear and stuff like that, which Destiny isn't on here either. But
which Destiny 2 was a good game.
Yeah.
And Destiny, my biggest gripe with Destiny is Destiny. If you start playing Destiny, man, it is like getting thrown into the ocean when you don't know how to swim, and somebody just being like, "Hey, figure it out." You know what I'm saying? Because like it's so big, so vast. There's so many different routes that you can go, so many different things that you can do. And I just don't think they do a good job of kind of... There's no hand-holding whatsoever. They just throw you into it, and they're like, all right, now's your time to just kind of figure it out and make do with what you got. And figuring out, okay, what armor do I need to be wearing? What guns do I need to be carrying? How do I get the right rolls on the guns that I want and all that kind of stuff? I mean, there's just so much to it. And if they would have handheld a little better, because like I played... Last Descendant, and Last Descendant I felt like it was right in that same vein with Destiny, but they did a better job of kind of hand-holding you and saying like, you know, not that I necessarily want to be handheld all the time, but they did a better job of kind of explaining to you like, here's the places you need to go to do certain things and how you can upgrade things and get things to where you want them to function the way that you want them to function.
Right.
So they were just a little better off as far as that stuff goes.
Yeah, it gives you more of that like tutorial-esque, but actually doing it in combat and not like taking you to like a shooting range and like...
Yeah. Nobody ever wants to just intro stuff. Like all the COD games, right? Back in the day, it used to be that you had to go through like a 30-minute ordeal of training, which was just stupid, like shooting ranges and throwing ranges for grenades and all that, and nobody needed that.
Right.
That being said, where do we put the COD series at?
See, that's
such a vast one is the hard part.
See, and this is where like I think this is hard because it's what it's become. Yeah. And like that's hard to get out of my mind. So honestly, I would put the series as a whole in the mid to below average tier.
I would totally agree with that. I'd say below average would be my spot for it.
I think they did a very good job, like Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2 remains one of the best video games ever.
And I think though when like those Modern Warfare 2, the first Black Ops,
both Black Ops games, like 1 and 2 for me, were good.
See, I only played Black Ops 1, and then like the new Call of Duty when Warzone came out, like the storyline that the original 2 games I thought were really well done. They were kind of almost a retelling of Modern Warfare 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I think those 4, or well, technically 6 out of those, I think are.
And let's not forget World at War. I don't know if you
never played World at War.
Oh man, World at War was phenomenal.
That was the World War II.
Yeah, okay. World War II era. Like my tier of COD games is Modern Warfare 2. Like the OG was my number 1.
Okay.
Right behind it was World at War, and then after that would be Black Ops 2. So those are like that would be my top 3 of the COD series. But like you said, if we take the entire franchise into consideration, what they've done with it over the past several years and stuff, I have to drop it down to below average, just because they took what used to be really good storytelling, really good multiplayer gameplay, and they've brought it to nothing but this BR stuff with very little storytelling.
Right.
Like, now your campaigns are just like, it's a couple hours long, not that great of a storytell, all that stuff. And so they've kind of dropped off in that sense.
And I was gonna say we can have a whole nother episode about what we feel is wrong with video games today, because I do want to actually dive into that at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Like what we feel like where the video game industry is. Not that we're experts by any stretch of the imagination,
not even close. But
I think sometimes the experts do it from a bad angle. Like we're the consumers, like we're the ones, like, because like it or not, the average age for video game users or players is, I think, like 34, 35 years old.
Yeah.
So we're not that far removed from that average age.
No, that's most of the streamers that I catch on a regular basis are in their mid 30s. So yeah, they're a little bit younger than I am, but no, I mean we're the generations that grew up with video games. Like we started with, I started with an Atari. I was the OG game. Started there and have worked my way up. I went from Atari to Super Nintendo. Went from regular Nintendo. Went from regular Nintendo to Super Nintendo, and Genesis. I've moved my way all the way up through all the different gaming platforms and stuff. And I think that I know this is kind of like prideful in a sense, but I think those of us who are the OG gamers like that have a little bit better of a view of what video games are. The guys who are considered to be the experts these days, unfortunately, are usually the 20-something-year-olds,
right,
who think that they know everything about video games, but most of them haven't. They don't know where a lot of these franchises have come from, because they didn't experience all of them when they were younger.
And I think too, like that goes into you saying, and I don't want to get too much down this hole.
we keep rolling.
But like even like this generation and like a game that's been going on forever, Pokemon.
Yeah.
I know that you weren't really big into it. I wasn't super big into it, but like I know enough.
Right.
But it's just like, oh well, this is like really fun, and like subtle nuances of the game. Like this is like super easy. Like you have no idea how hard this game used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll end on this. So I'm gonna do a game that I've never played.
Okay.
Because it's on here and it's popular. I have never played Super Smash Brothers.
That is ridiculous to me. Like especially considering the time that we spent in youth ministry.
Yeah, I've never.
That's wild to me. I've seen it been Smash Bros.
Played. Like I've been with people while they are playing it, but I have never played it myself. So I have like literally no idea.
That's so interesting. I love Smash Bros. Actually, like I don't play it nearly enough. Part of it being there's something about that game that drives my motion sickness wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay,
because it's a platformer, right? So like
I could see that.
Like with all the stuff going on and the screen moving and multiple people controlling like where things are going on the screen and stuff like that, there's something about it that drives me crazy, but I do enjoy playing it. My kid, she plays, and she's on the esports team at school, and she's playing Smash Bros as her esports game. And so yeah, there's like we got a lot of ties to it. We enjoy playing in the household and stuff, and I make everybody mad because I get King K. Rool, and all I do is just keep tossing his crown out and shooting people with his little like cannon gun, whatever it is that he's got and stuff. I love that game.
Yeah.
It's surprising that you've never played it though, like just because of the circles that we've run in. And
right, and it's one of those things where like, yeah, I've just never played it, so we might have to figure that out if we can.
Maybe that'll be one of the things that we'll stream at some point in time on
and
Twitch.
then yeah, if we ever, I mean, we will within reason be open for gaming suggestions as well too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To play.
If there's a game that you haven't heard us mention or something like that you think we should play,
so
let us know in the comments.
I was gonna say, that being said, let's take a quick sponsor break.
Hey, sponsor break.
And we will get back and kind of wrap this up because I'm pretty sure this is probably taking most of our time.
It's taking a lot of it, but I have a quick story to tell you too. When we
yeah,
come back,
so let's get back to that after we talk about the Salt Collective.
Yeah, speaking of the Salt Collective, we've mentioned them on each episode that we've done because they're our first sponsor. We love the Salt Collective, not to mention that because they let us use the attic of the owner's home to be able to record our podcast, but we love them because of what they do as a business as well. And so we want to mention to you today, the Salt Collective exists to help small businesses and nonprofits to continue to promote their stuff online, to be able to run their business in a more efficient and effective way. And they offer a lot of different services to be able to come alongside small businesses and nonprofits to be able to help them out. And one of the cool things that they do is they partner those small businesses with the nonprofits. And so as a small business, when you sign on to use the Salt Collective, you then get to help pick one of the nonprofits that they're working with to be able to support them through what you're paying the Salt Collective to come on and do the work for you. So that's a really cool feature that they have. We love what they do and love how they work with small businesses. We've mentioned several in the past. Pioneer Cattle, Silver Creek Repair here in Wadsworth, Ohio. Both of those are small businesses that use the Salt Collective, and the Salt Collective helps out with places like Marianne's Closet, which is a nonprofit here in our town as well. And so they are slowly growing their business and would love to talk with you about how they could help your small business or nonprofit in the future. So if you'll take the opportunity to go to RemainSalty.com, again, that's RemainSalty.com, or you can check them out on Facebook by searching for the Salt Collective. And they would love to be able to tell you more about what they do. You can find more information about them on their website. If you are a small business owner, if you know somebody who owns a small business, or you're a person that runs a nonprofit, be sure to check them out. Again, that's RemainSalty.com. So, story time.
Story time.
And this is a really weird, really strange story, like that just kind of came up over the past couple of days. So for everybody that's listening out there, we record these episodes pretty far ahead of time before you're hearing the episode. And right now it is December 21st of 2024. Over the past couple of days, I've been out to do Christmas shopping. Had to look for a couple of things for the church, trying to get stuff prepared because like we try to give a gift to everybody on the Sunday before Christmas each year. And so I was kind of looking for some stuff to make that possible for this year's gift. So naturally, the place where you go, because you can get things in bulk and make it a little bit easier, is Hobby Lobby.
I was about to say Hobby Lobby or Sam's Club.
So I ran to Hobby Lobby the other day. So I went to Sam's Club first.
I saw the honey buns downstairs.
Yeah. So we had to get all the honey buns and things that people love at the church that we have for breakfast and stuff. But I went to Sam's Club first, ran over to Hobby Lobby to pick up some bags and some other things that we needed. So by the time I leave Sam's Club, because you know me, when I travel, I have a Liquid Death and or a energy drink, which I have both of them beside me right now.
Right.
I have both of those things with me in my truck most of the time when I'm traveling. And so by the time that I got done at Sam's Club and made my way over to Hobby Lobby, my bladder was like screaming at me. So it was one of those situations where when I walked into Hobby Lobby, it was like, can you tell me where your restroom is? Because if you don't, your fake plants might get watered today. That kind of deal. So I run to the bathroom. I go to Hobby Lobby, their men's restroom, and when I'm in there, I have to give Hobby Lobby props. And this is really strange to me, and it's really strange to talk about. They had the best smelling urinal screen that I've ever experienced in my life.
So
especially for the ladies out there, for all of our listeners, in case you don't know, like most public restrooms, right, for men in the urinals either have like a urinal cake or a urinal screen.
Right.
And what probably like a decade ago, they started like scenting them so that they would smell better. And because nobody wants to smell pee and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I have I don't know that I could tell you what the scent was. Because I'm just not that good at
You
like,
didn't get
picking
down
it
in
out.
there and
Yeah, yeah, like take it with me, right? Bring it home. And
Wafting.
Yeah, it's hanging in my truck now. It's my new air freshener. No, so I was like, I was just standing there using the restroom, and I'm like, that smells remarkably good for something that's in a men's like urinal. Like you just don't expect it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this one was like, and it was kind of like I think holiday themed.
Okay, so it was like I don't want to say like baking cookies or
no, it wasn't like cookies,
but like that like holiday
that spice
smell,
yeah,
like
kind of smell.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was that. It hit me, and I was kind of like, you don't ever think about that. You smell them like when you're in the restroom and stuff like that. But this one was like legitimately. There was none of that like mix of pee and
that stale
everything else smell. It was just that thing, and it smelled so good. So anyway, it stuck in my mind, and I thought, yeah, it'd be fun to.
So follow up on that. What is the nicest bathroom you've ever been to? Public bathroom.
Oh man,
because like it's one of those things where it's like especially if you go on the same trip. Like for me, like going up to school, because like driving from Ohio all the way up to the west side of Michigan.
Yeah,
like you kind of you travel the same route, so you stop at the same places.
Right,
and like sometimes like like hey, this is like I'm gonna stop here, either grab some snacks or food or whatever.
Yeah,
and I know they have a good bathroom. So, because like there are some bathrooms, especially like men's bathrooms, that are terrible.
Yeah,
like
some places you intentionally avoid.
Right, and it's like I don't like some people have the fear of going to the bathroom in a perfectly square space, so they have to kick the doors out and kick the walls out. Like it doesn't make it make sense.
Yeah,
But like, yeah,
why is the little turn thing always broken?
Right. Or like, why is there just enough of a gap?
Oh, that's the most awkward thing in the whole world.
And it's like one of those things, if you're not on your phone and you know it's a busy, you just kind of like stare.
Yeah.
Like just to see if somebody like looks to see if somebody's
that's hilarious.
Do that little glance. But yeah, what's the nicest public restroom you've ever been into?
Like offhand, I know for a fact that Cheesecake Factory has a pretty dope bathroom.
Really?
Yeah, like in particular, I know that the one that is like on Crocker Park on the west side of like Cleveland and stuff. Super nice bathrooms because there's it's Cheesecake Factory. Everything's freaking marble and all that kind of stuff in there. And so I remember that one being distinctly good. I was trying to think of there was a place that I went to one time. Man, I'm drawing a blank on what place it was. Their bathroom was freaking killer though. It was it was very kind of like looked like Chip and Joanna Gaines had come in and like styled the place, but
like shiplap everywhere.
Yeah. It was super nice looking, but I just remember that there was memorabilia from different things like on the wall.
Oh, okay.
And the music that was playing was like so the music that was playing in the men's restroom was distinctly different from the restaurant and from the other, like from the women's bathroom.
So it was like a restaurant.
Because I asked Brooke about what was playing in the women's restroom, and it was different from the men's. So
really?
the men's had like dad rock.
Oh, okay,
playing.
that's awesome.
And so like everything about it, like the whole experience of going to that, and they had the guy that was standing in there he wasn't like handing out towels or mints or anything like that, but he was there to clean as soon as you left, and so the whole thing was like spotless.
Right.
I mean, it was a great experience. And I'm trying to think of what the name of the restaurant was, because I want to say there was like a place that we went to for like a special dinner of, it was like a rehearsal dinner for a wedding or something like that. It was weird. And so that's why I'm drawing a blank, is because I was probably just following directions, in that sense.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like, yeah, just kind of on
but I remember distinctly like just how impressed I was with that bathroom and just kind of be like, man, that was awesome.
So I have two. So
okay.
The first one is Cabela's up in Dundee, Michigan.
Cabela's, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So like that was like almost like the halfway point from here to Hope, where I went to school.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was a good break. It was a good stopping point, especially if I was going up or like family was going up or things like that. Like it was a nice halfway stop. You could stretch your legs, because you just get off the turnpike. So that's just 100 miles of just flat.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Shout out glaciers. But like flat, just nothing. And then you can get in there. It's like 17 miles into Michigan, and it's right there.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, I love Cabela's. It's cool to look at all the camping gadgets and all the
I'm a big fan of Cabela's. I like going there. Every time we go to Columbus, that's one of the places we stop in.
And plus the one up in Michigan's huge. Like it's like twice the size of the one in Columbus.
Really?
Like, yeah, that one's like a department store compared to the one. Like they have like a giant mountain in the middle that has all the different animals and stuff, aquarium in there, and big old gun library and archery stuff. And the second one is not necessarily because it was nice, but of how efficient it was.
Okay.
So this past year, I know this sounds weird.
Okay.
So this past year, we went down to the Masters.
Yeah.
For the practice round.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to think, like, golf, there's a lot of men down there.
Right.
So, like, the lines were incredible. Like, it was almost like getting in line for a ride at, like, an amusement park. Like, they had somebody standing there, like, men's restroom line starts here. But after every person, like they had people, like a team of people in every bathroom that was cleaning after every person went to the bathroom.
So as soon as you're done, somebody cleans it and it's ready for the next person to roll in.
They're like doing a little scrub, wiping down the walls, wiping down the handles.
No way.
Yeah, and it was just it was constantly like you were rolling in, rolling out, rolling out. Like, and it was just one of those things where
which is a bonus because you don't have the one stall that everybody's avoiding.
Right, exactly.
That's like a big thing in like public restrooms. Yeah. There's always like one that you look in and everybody
and
goes,
like, "Oh,
good Lord, what happened in here?
What cherry bomb went off in that toilet?" But no, it was so efficient, and it's like and they'll ask you like front nine, back nine, that's how they phrased it.
That's
and it was
funny.
But you knew exactly what they're talking about, and like they would like direct you
like a spritz of poopery on the
but like
toilet.
they would, but like if somebody came out of a stall, they were like scrubbing the toilet like after every person.
That's impressive.
It was just
actually.
very efficient, and like I mean that whole operation is just unreal. Like you have people cleaning up trash and like raking mulch after somebody steps in it once. Like
that's crazy.
I mean it's very efficient, and like the food down there is dirt cheap. Like, I mean, obviously,
really?
like, you being from the South, like,
Yeah.
in Georgia and stuff, like, pimento cheese is, like, a huge thing. Like, you can get, like, a pimento cheese sandwich on white bread for, like, $1.50.
What?
They had Georgia
That's
Peach
awesome.
Georgia Peach ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
I think they were, like, $3. And they were, like, the big, thick
boys. Man,
with
that's
the
awesome.
sugar cookies. But, like, I mean, everything was, like, it was so inexpensive to be down there. But, like,
Side note.
obviously, getting in was a little expensive.
Yeah,
but.
side note, I love pimento cheese.
Really?
I
do too.
it.
Like
that big container they sell at Walmart, we buy that, and like my sitting around snacking is just like
I was
Ritz
gonna say,
crackers.
do you dip, or have you like made sandwiches with it?
I do all of it.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's a way that you can use pimento cheese, I'm pretty sure I probably
Have you had
use it.
the Chick-fil-A pimento cheese sandwich?
No,
I haven't either.
I've had Bojangles pimento cheese sandwich though. Yeah, they've got they have a chicken sandwich that has
Is it
pimento
seasonal
cheese.
or is it all
No,
the
it's
time?
only, it's just participating Bojangles. You got to go to the right places to find it.
And of course, probably the one in Ohio doesn't have it.
No, the one in Ohio doesn't have hardly anything. Yeah.
They have Bo-Berry biscuits.
Shout out to them for putting one in Ohio.
Right.
But we need you to get the full menu. Like,
Yeah.
I need bone-in chicken.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize that they didn't have bone-in chicken.
They only do the tenders there. It's like the tenders and the sandwiches, you know what I'm saying? So it's all like boneless chicken.
But, I mean, at least they have the sides, though.
Not all of them.
What were they missing? I guess
There's a bunch of them they don't have.
Really?
Yeah. Like, if you go look at their menu and stuff like that, it's like, I think that, if I remember correctly, I think that they have, I know that they have the seasoned fries. I know they have dirty rice. And I think they have mac and cheese. But, like, they don't do a lot of the ones that you can get down south.
I do like the dirty rice. But
They also don't do cheddar bow biscuits, which is like
I don't think I've ever had a cheddar bow biscuit.
Now that's a very specific one. Like only very very certain like Bojangles in the South carry that. And then, but they do have the potato rounds at the one in Canton, which is that's another like staple item for me from there. So
yeah,
I will say this though, I'll give them credit for what they carry. Their strips there are phenomenal. Like. Better than the ones that I used to get growing up at the Bojangles down in my hometown. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean it's one of those things where it's like I know that's a divisive topic, but and we'll kind of end on this one. Maybe we'll pick it up in the next episode. But Cane's is so overrated.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on Cane's. Take their sauce away, they have nothing.
Yeah, take the sauce and the Texas toast away, you got nothing.
Yeah. we'll discuss that more in the future. So,
Oh,
all right,
yeah, for sure.
Sounds good. All right, let's give all the people what they need to do.
All right, so hey, if you can go ahead and give us a like, a follow, a share, a 5-star comment on whatever platform you're listening to. I know this is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube now. So just give it a like, a listen, and tell us what you think. And if you have an idea of any video games that you would put in those tiers, let us know in the comments. We'll go back through. We'll read them.
And where's your favorite bathroom at? Tell us that too.
Yeah, where's your favorite? What's your favorite bathroom?
Favorite public restroom? Where do you go? But also make sure you go to our social media pages, which is Instagram and Facebook for now. We'll probably have some more in the future and stuff. But if you'll go there, if you like those things and follow us on them, that will help you to stay clued in. So if we ever do some of our live stream stuff in the future, as far as video games go on Twitch, when we have future episodes and updates on things, one of our big hopes is that in the future to have some merch stuff for you guys as well, because we have a few designs for that. And so there's a lot of things that are kind of floating out there. And so by sharing this and increasing our people that are listening to us and stuff like that, you will help us to get to some of these goals that we have set out there. And like we said before, many times, we want to get some famous Joshes on here in the future as well. And so the more that we grow, the more opportunity we'll have for those kinds of guys to be able to come on and be able to talk with us on the show as well. So again, leave a good review, give us a like, give us a follow, whatever the things are that you can do on the platform that you're listening on and on the social media pages. And we would greatly appreciate that. So we hope that you guys have an awesome week this week. We love you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take it easy, guys. Bye.
That was well brought up. Too bad I wasn't. Hey.